Well, we've actually got half an hour today, and what we've got from one of our customers, a vast collection of stuff, Maxcom 4E. I'm sure he said it was scruffy, but it isn't. And it comes with an original mic, and it's rare you'll see those working, so I won't be holding my breath there. So I'm hoping that, unlike yesterday's eBay working Amstrad, which was anything but, let's see, I've forgotten what the date is. Guess, put the 17th. So it's February 82, this one. So it's later batch. 8104596. So there's never sparkling performers, but they're always competent performers, and they're always reliable. And they usually do 4 watts as well. Now we make the power connectors for these, but I don't expect we've got one on the bench. We'll open it up then in that case, so I know which way I'm connecting it with the crocodile clips. So will this be a set I can complete in 20 minutes? Oh, it's got nice void stickers on it. I can actually hear it raining, that's unusual for here. Not sure we're going to get that much done radio wise this week. I'm building up to 2 weddings on Saturday to play the organ for, and 3 harvest services on Sunday. Obviously I have to put practice into those. I think we've got a realistic 1001 left to do of customer jobs, and then I think we're on another Maxcom 4E type set, but it's to the trade and it's a chassis only. So we might slot something of ours in between. We're connected to the test gear, connect our wall mounted extension speaker to PA speaker, and connect the test instrument speaker equipment lead thing into there, and then with our trusty crocodile clip. I think this is a set he's been using regularly. We've got the chassis connectors as well as the things to make the power leads up. Got them, we'll stick them on eBay anyway. This side is always going up in price, whereas the other side isn't. Weird. Right, power supply on. We'll go straight for 13.8 volts. Switch the radio on. Yeah, right. Well, he hasn't said to me, get rid of that blue meter thing. That is awful. 40-year-old set with a blue LED which hadn't even been invented 40 years ago. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2 1 2, and that works fine. But it always comes through both speakers, which is frustrating. Not just your PA speaker. So we're on channel 20, just turn the squelch down, see what it's doing on transmitted power output. .1 watts on channel 20. 3 watts channel 40, and on channel 1 3.1 watt. Back to channel 20, check the transmitted power consumption, 990 milliamps. Stick the radio on low power, which should be 400 milliwatts, and we've got 260 milliwatts. Go back to full power. What does the meter read? 5 plus. So as I've said a million times, these are calibrated to read 4 on the with a dummy load. When you get an aerial connected, it can read anything. It can bang across, it can hardly move, but it'll still be doing whatever wattage the radio's doing. So, you know, don't look at the meter and go, oh, it's only pushing 1 watt out, because it's just the way it is. And that's probably why all the latest sets, certainly in the last 10 years, nearly every one of them has got a pre-programmed bar graph that goes across, even if the set's not transmitting. It is just pointless, but it's what people seem to want to see. Ooh, it's transmitting. Ooh, it's not. See what the deviation is doing. Wow. Right. I'll put it on the 25 scale and see what we get. Wow. 7.1. What silliness is that? How to talk to 3 channels on a Fidelity 1000. We won't be doing BCO and frequency. Let's go over to the other camera. 2779.125. It's nearly spot on. 2779.105. I'll tell you what, we'll just pull that up right now. It doesn't matter if it doesn't, it's so close. 20 hertz off isn't going to do anything. There we go, spot on. So that's one thing done. The mic actually works, doesn't it? Right, we'll put that into the signal generator. 2779.125. I think I overshot that. Will do. Well, we can hear 0.3 of a microvolt, which the signal generator is parked at. See what the sign that is. So for 12 dB it's 6.8. For 10 dB 6.2. And for 20 dB won't quite do it on that scale. It's all down to noise, it really doesn't matter. It's 1.4. Squelch. Let's change camera so you can see what we're doing. If you can actually see anything for that lead. So we're going to put this squelch to full, and I want to be able to open that squelch when we get to 100 microvolts. Now there isn't a clear rule on this. This is how I like it to be. No, 300, 1 millivolt. It never opens. That's clever, isn't it? threshold. So we'll go to the opposite way, put the signal generator to standby, turn the squelch down, and adjust the radio till we get to the threshold position, switch the signal generator back on, and it's parked at 0.3 of a microvolt. 0.58. Now that'll change when I adjust it. So that's where we are. All the controls work and don't need any cleaning, so that's task done. Here we go. Let's go to transmit, see if we can bring that up to 4 watts. Oh, it's had Mr. Wax in it, has it? It's alright putting wax in, but over the years it may have drifted and then it's not in the right place. Yeah, I certainly needed to adjust that. Oh, didn't melt that bit well enough. So about 3.2, 3.3, somewhere around there. Three 3.3. Anyone putting comments in and talking about the good old days, can you please not mention you ever had anything illegal, because everything we do on this channel is strictly 100% UK legal. So what I don't want are comments which say I used to be really, really naughty back in 1980. So it's something, we get some really, really good comments and then they get stuck in the kind of spam filter, which is looking for certain words, and there'd be really good comments if they just hadn't mentioned something illegal. So, you know, it's UK, 40 channels on the UK 2781 system like this is, or 40 channels on the CPT system, and post 2014 that can be AM, FM or SSB, and it's 4 watts on both, unless it's SSB on CPT, in which case it's 12 watts peak to peak. I'm not really interested in SSB anyway, so we don't cover it on this channel. So there we go, we've got bang on 4 watts. And we've got 3.95 on channel 1, and we've got 3.95 on channel 40. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. We're just going to pop it up a fraction. Just like that. So we've got still got 4 watts on channel 20, but it's the other side of the line, if you get me. As in 4.0001. 4 watts on channel 40, 3.9 on channel 1. So I think that's a good, certainly within 0.1. Right, low power. Oh, I'll tell you what, we'll do something about this meter, which is now banging across. Bang! So we've set that to 4. But when we put it on the aerial, as I said, it may read 1, it may bang across, but it's still doing 4. Because it's relative to SWR and reactance, etc. So that's that bit done. Let's do low power. So we should be 400 milliwatts. It's 250 milliwatts, and normally it's going to be this preset, but it can differ. It's that one. That's bang on the 400 milliwatts. Let's go to full power and just see what the current consumption now is. It's 1.103. So for nearly an extra watt, we're only drawing another 80 milliamps. How efficient is that? Now let's deal with this deviation. I'll have to use the test set behind me to verify, but we'll set the deviation on here, then I'll verify it with the one behind me, because I can't trust this deviation meter. Wallow. I'll plug that into the test set behind and see whether that's anywhere between 2.2 and 2.5. Did I even switch this test instrument on? No, I didn't. That was clever, wasn't it, Mr. Tango? Wow. I'll tell you what, we'll take a break because that's going to be 10 minutes coming up to a usable temperature. Right, we'll go back into record, and I've just done the deviation check. It's 2.2 to 2.5 kilohertz as it should be. I don't get what this turning it up wider and wider. You're not making it louder, you're making it wider. Eventually it's on 3 channels. But you only sound louder if you've got people listening on a Fidelity 1000 with poor filtering. So that concludes our transmit side, and now we'll look at receive. Right, onto the oscilloscope, and we'll do the detector. It's one of the few things that goes out on a Maxcom base set. 100 microvolt signal. And let's see what happens. I don't think my normal adjustment tools here. I don't want to break the other tool, but I think we're going to have to just use that for this. Minutely out, so worth doing. We're now back to 1 microvolts. Let's go to the synod meter. And we'll get through the tuning. Wow, that was a way out. That was slightly out. That was spot on. That was spot on. And that was spot on. The IFs were right, but the front end was way out. How bizarre. Let's look for a new synod reading. So for 10 dBs, we've now got 0.51. 10 dB, now got 0. say 0.48. Could have been less than that. Could have said 0.475. Of the 20, 0.91. So putting 100 microvolts on the signal generator once again, we will set, let's put the attenuator up, we'll set the signal meter, which is currently saying S5. Now, is it adjustable on this? Sometimes there's a preset on the back of the meter. There is on this set. There we have S9. You can see it going down as we turn the signal down. Oh, there's a great big change there, isn't there? And up as we go up. So it's back to 100 microvolts, and there it is. So that's the calibration point. And now it's time to do the squelch. So, squelch to full. So it was never opening before. So I've got 100 microfarad signal, 100 microvolt signal on the signal generator. So we'll adjust the squelch until that signal comes in. Well, we would like to. Alright, put a stronger signal on. So in that position, that must be minimum. It's 700 microvolts. That's not ideal, but at least it opens. Right, now we'll do the opposite. I'm going to park the signal generator at 0.3 of a microvolt, turn the squelch down, and set the squelch to threshold on the radio. It's now 0.48. There was nothing wrong with that. At 0.58, it's now 0.48, so it tracks even better around Scratchy Corner. I've forgotten to note that was it was something like S5 equaled 100 microvolts before, and now it's correct. So it's 100 microvolts. That's now 4. There we go. So I'll put the soldering iron back on. There's no duff-looking capacitors, but they're very reliable anyway on capacitors. Not like the Unidens. So that's worked out really well. I'm just sad about the blue LED. It's like having a 1937 Rolls Royce and then putting blue LEDs in it, you know. Oh dear, it doesn't fit in with the era. And then we'll test this speaker and have a flick around the channels. So I think we're going to have a Another realistic TRC 1001 handheld. This is the same customer where the other TRC 1001 came from. So he sent 2 boxes in, so we did 1 box of stuff and sent it back. So right, we'll take it off its test equipment, turn that off, save some electricity, put it on the roof area, which is an Antron 99, just mounted above gutter height on a single story building and without the optional ground ploughing kit, broadside into a tiled roof. So let's see what it keys up to, knowing that the set does 4 watts and that the meter was calibrated to say 4 watts when presented with a correct load. Just over the 4 on this set, so not far out. 1 nano, Roger. Let's put it on its own speaker. Roger, nobody there. Right, we'll get that ready for an on-the-air test with Mr. Chippy. As soon as I stop recording, this will probably talk. There we are. So that's worked out really well, and I'll have a look at his notes, but I'm sure he hasn't asked us to do that meter lamp, which would be a lot of work for nothing, and it would change the price dramatically. So, thanks for watching. Another Maxcom 4E that no longer transmits on 3 channels at once.